We're back with Matt Garris from Out on the Limb Manufacturing. We're going to go behind the product and kind of dig into a little bit. Matt's got some new things for the 2021 season. So, Matt, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everyone kind of who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Yeah, I'm Matt Garris. I'm owner of Out on a Limb Manufacturing in Enid, Oklahoma. Our website's outonalimb.mfg.com. You can see all our products there. We build 90% everything's built in-house. We farm out some machine work. Everything's built right here in the States.
And kind of everything that you kind of build is all kind of custom, like right from the hip kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll have an idea. We'll build it. We'll test it, and we'll put it out.
So everything that you're doing, like, is it more or less on the saddle line of everything, or do you do a little bit of everything?
Well, I'll try to make it a little brief. Back in the early 2000s, I started a company called Trailer Tower LLC. And what that is it's an ATV trailer that stands up into a tower blind. It's a one-person operation, 10 foot to the floor. We had different heights, but that was our main one. And it basically set up a tower blind on the fly. It takes about 5 minutes by yourself. And we did that, and it's back then it was $5,000 deer stand. Now it's probably a $6,000, but it hauls your ATV as well. It's all self-contained, has winch, lights, solar panel. I mean, you name it, 12-volt power in it, chairs bolt through the walls. So we sold 25 or 30 of them. It just wasn't enough to make a living on, so we closed that down. And then 7 years ago, we started Out on a Limb with our TS1, which is a tree stand designed to go on any angle of tree. I mean, you honestly cannot find a tree you won't put it on. It'll go straight horizontal if you need it to. I think you've seen it, haven't you, Trevor, at shows?
Yep.
And then from there, we thought we needed a filler line, so we did the little ambush, which we sell pretty good. It's at 8 pounds with the straps now, so it's pretty light stance, 13 by 21 platform. Not a dance platform or anything, but you can definitely kill deer off of it. Then I've got patent on the TS1. I've got a patent on my ladder stands. They're designed for crooked timber as well. They'll go about 10 degrees front to back, 30 degrees side to side, I believe, roughly. They're 15 foot to the floor, gives you about a 20-foot eye level. Make doubles and singles. We do not have those on the website, but we're bringing all that back. We're going to bring the trailer towers back. I also build just regular tower blinds. So we're going to be full money. I mean, you're going to have everything. Also have a patent on a camera arm, the 0360E. Starting to make a little comeback too. We've sold a few of those lately.
That's awesome. And that's a full 360 camera arm.
Yeah, it's an overhead mount. So that's what throws people. The thing is always in front of you. So any photographs you get of it, it looks huge. It's really not near as big as it looks in a picture. Person just almost has to have your hands on it to know what it is. And then we have, 5 other camera arms, I believe. We got the Reach. Vantage Point's our new one. It's a 3-segmented, a little bigger than the Reach, has a little bigger ball on it, so you can get more professional cameras on it. It's, I think, 32 inches from the tree, something like that. So
nice. A little bit more heavier duty than the Reach, or?
It's out of the same stock that the Shikars are.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, like in our situation, it'll carry a Sony Handycam or something like that, like the Reach will, but you can put like an AF6 Sony on it, like a cinematic camera, and it'll hold that weight without causing it to sink.
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And our biggest deal last year, of course, was the Shikars. I mean, they made a big splash, and we've just kept
things are awesome.
We've been adding. We came with the FXDs. So we got fixed and folding. Now we have the one stick, just released a week or so ago. In fact, we'll start shipping those Monday. I got them back today from the machine shop. So all I got to do is assemble this weekend, and we'll start shipping those next week. And those are 2.5 pounds, 14-inch step to step. I don't know if you've seen the Monarch yet, but the Monarch is similar to the Scout. It's got a flat top, but it's also got the angle to it too. Both platforms are 10, so you got total distance away from the tree is just under 6 inches because of the angle.
Now with the Monarch, is that sold separate, or is that's part of the one stick? Or
the way we got our website set up on everything now is build a stick. Basically, you remember the old Build-A-Bears?
Yeah,
it's basically like that. You're going to build your stick. If you want a double step top, scout on top, be it flat or angled, you have the option to pick, or you can pick the Monarch. Then the bottom, of course, will probably be a double step, but that's the new thing I was kind of working on. I'm not going to talk about yet. I'm doing a little something else with the Monarch that it's going to wow some folks, I think, especially the folks that use knee pads.
Nice.
All right. We'll look forward to that. That'll be kind of good.
That should be, I mean, I built a prototype today. A matter of fact, it's not where I want it. It's real close, but I got one little change I want to make that's going to really make it rad. So let's make it. So
you're just like the innovative side of all of this.
Well, I've been honestly in a little bit of a slump lately. I've been working on that little lock on. I think you and I have talked about it before. I'm not there yet. I took some materials to the machine shop earlier this week for some different ideas. It's hard to get light where people want to be, but I got to be safe. So I like my stands to be solid. So we got just a little more legwork to do on that, but we're getting there.
That's awesome.
Pretty much.
And then you offer just a array of different platforms also.
Oh yeah, we got Ridge Runner. We'll start out Podium, then the Ridge Runner, Scout Solo. Then we went to the Scouts on the stick, Rut Roost, which you have, I believe.
Yep.
I just put that on the website this week, I think, or last week.
Mm-hmm.
Those. I mean, it's not that I needed to test it or anything. We got so much going on. I mean, we're a 4-man operation, so we're stretched pretty thin. We should 6 a week.
And like we were kind of going back on one of the saddle hunting pages that, everyone kind of asked, because I was like, I don't know if I should have said it, but I did. I was like, on like an hour or two, I just bring the Rut Roost and I just use that as a platform. And guys are like, you can do that? And I'm like,
oh, hell yes.
Yeah, the only is it's not coated with the anti-skid, but I don't do that so it doesn't tear up your camo.
Right. It's not like it's I mean, you're still holding the same amount of weight, whether I'm sitting on it or I'm standing on it, it's still the same amount of weight on it, Yeah.
People didn't think it'd take the side pressure, but it's the same. I mean, it's the same thing as your old beaver tail.
Oh, I love that thing. Yep. That's why I love the Rut Roost, man. That's why I was like, yep, send me that thing. I got a lot of good uses for that.
Yeah. This next deal that I'm working on, I think it's going to really, it gives you some relaxed mode like that. Not quite like the Rut, because the Rut Roost I like because you can use it as a table, you can use it as a seat, you can sit to the tree, you can stand up. It doesn't. I mean, you can use it for anything. It's a tad heavier than the Podium, I think. I honestly haven't weighed it, but it's probably 3.5. Then we also got the Ridge Runner XL. I forgot about that one.
Yep.
We sold a lot of those.
And that's one thing, like when people ask, or they recommend, like, what do you recommend, Trev? Because they always ask me for some reason, like I know. If you're a newer hunter or a newer saddle hunter, I recommend the XL because you get a little bit more room. You're a little bit more comfortable. The guys that want to kind of relax and get off the tether and just sit there and kind of move around, and you're not really all that comfortable with being up in the air in a saddle, the XL is great for that. Because you have a little bit more of a platform to be able to move around and kind of just get comfortable with everything. And it still takes the side pressure and everything really well. So that's the one I recommend for newer saddle hunters. Just having a little bit more room up there.
Right. Yeah, we don't, we sell a fair amount of Ridge XLs, but it didn't really go like I thought it would. We beat everyone punch on that. What I do, I mean, every night I'll get on. I don't read all the comments and all the posts, but I kind of buzz through them and see what people are talking about, what they like, what they don't like. And that's kind of where my ideas come from. Mm-hmm. Just try to make it be helpful to the community.
Right. Yeah. You've always since the, you doing all this, you've just stayed above the curve and just always coming out with something new and innovative that like, wow, that's crazy. Like with mixing up when you had started the working with the perch,
Right.
the perch needed this or that. And, Wild Edge couldn't get this. And then you came up with something and you guys collaborated together or whatever, however you guys did that. And look at that. Now the perch came into life.
Yeah. Battlement, I think. Do you have the battlement? You do, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. The work with Drew on that one. I'm actually Sean let the cat out of the bag earlier this week on that other podcast, but we're working on a product together, Trophy Line and I. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. It's going to be, I'm not going to talk about it yet either, but I've already got prototyping started and it's going to be pretty cool, especially if I can get controls the way I want them.
That's awesome. Yeah, anything that anyone has that wants to come to light, Matt normally brings it to light. It's kind of funny how that works.
Yeah, exactly.
Where I'm different from everyone else, I mean, the other guys come with the ideas and they have to have someone else build it. I mean, we're right here in house. If I want to build it, I just build it. I don't have to ask permission. I don't have to get engineering help. I mean, I'm not an engineer by any means, but I've been oil field all my life, so I know how to build strong. And if it's not strong, we'll rebuild it. We had that little problem with the Podium in the very beginning, and I know people have seen the pictures floating around. Well, everyone wanted super light. Well, you can only go so light. So you got to put meat where meat's needed, and that's what we went back and did. We only gained a couple ounces, but that thing's a tank now.
So I want to go kind of backtrack a little bit. Why don't you go over a little bit of the Shikar sticks? Because I know you won a big award for those. And I know it's something that's kind of like in everybody's eye right now too, is the difference between the regular Shikars and then the FXs.
Okay. The regular Shikar ATA 2020, I guess, entered a contest there. You couldn't release your product until ATA. Now I did have some out to testers, but I couldn't sell them. So I picked 10 individuals and I sent them sticks and let them test them from beginning of season till January. So pretty much a full season on them, really. Then when we released them at ATA I really didn't even know what the contest was. I just knew it was about new products. So I entered it. We did a little video when we got there. That first night at ATA, the lady comes up and tells me that we won gold. And I said, "Excuse me?" She said, I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Oh, the contest, you won gold for your sticks." I said, "Really?" I said, "You shitting me?" I said, just like that. She said, "No, really, you won best new product or best new introduced product, I think." I said, "Well, that's what we came here for." So
there you go.
It will tell you what, I was probably more excited than I've been in a long time, because I honestly didn't even know what I was doing part of that time. I mean, I said things to people that they told me later, and I don't even remember saying them or doing them. I was high on life. But
now you want to just describe those sticks, kind of like what options they come in, so on and so forth.
Originally, we started out, you could pick single steps or double steps, and it's been a year now. I think we built 4 sets of singles, and all but one of those have been converted to doubles. So a couple of weeks ago, I took singles off the list. So that, the regular Shikars got a spring behind the standoff. You unscrew the knob to where it stops. It's got a lock nut. That's what that little lock nut's for. Its only purpose is that's a stop. When it gets to there, put your thumbs on the stick, pop the step off, and rotate everything sideways. Just a packability thing. A lot of guys don't like the fiddle factor. To me, just like Drew says, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. I don't get in a hurry when I go to the tree. I pull my sticks out. I put them together. Sometimes I do go to the woods with my sticks assembled. It kind of depends on where I'm going, what I'm doing. I don't public land hunt, but I got 5,100 acres ranch I hunt. And I haven't explored it because I don't really know anything about public land until I went to Florida learned a lot on that trip. So I'm hoping it don't rain tomorrow. Got a Rambo, and I'm going to take it back in. Probably those deer have never seen human beings before. I mean, this ranch is just lease roads for oil wells, and that's pretty much all it's traveled other than the cows walking around. So, I got a lot that's 7 square miles.
Ooh, that's crazy.
That's basically just like.
No joke. And so those sticks come in what, 17,
20, 22. The new one is 14-inch, the one stick, and it's fixed like the FXDs. FXDs, same thing. And weight-wise, there's less than 2 ounces difference from stick to stick, so I'm still going to call them 1.5 pounds. The FXDs are actually an ounce lighter, I think, than the regulars, because you do away with the knobs, the longer bolts, the extra nut, all that. It just
spring.
Yeah, the spring, and a little more meat off the standoff because it pressed, and I press fit all the FXDs. Everything is pressed together, so it takes me a little while to put them together. And they're the same price. I didn't see a reason to change anything. I read stuff all the time on the forums. I get tired of reading it. All the stick builders are getting rich, dude. If you knew how small the margin was on our products, I don't make a 50% margin. And you talk your box stores, they're making 300%. But they're not building with the quality and the care that we do. My hands touch everything that goes out of our shop.
Plus, it's USA made.
Yeah, made in Oklahoma, baby. From machine work, I take that back. Our ridge runners are welded in Texas. That's the only product that's farmed out. Just because when we started selling those, we just got too busy and we couldn't keep up. So I had to hire a weld shop out of a fab shop out of Texas. They still build the ridge runners. We build everything else: the XLs, the Podiums, the Rut Roost, Scout Solo. Other than the machine work, I have CNC mills and CNC lathe in my shop, but all I use my stuff for is prototyping now, because I can't do it in quantities like they can. So I'll build the original, take it I'll put it in their machines, and I go to the machine shop at least 2 times a week, sometimes 3, to pick up parts and put things together.
So it keeps you busy full time.
8 days a week, brother.
It's always something, whether on Facebook or whatever. You're always doing something with the products.
Yeah, like I say, I literally touch every product that goes out of there. At one point to another, I do not do the work 100%. There's 4 of us. Does all the office work. He does all the shipping. I hired another kid named Logan. He's worked for me since he was 15 years old, but then he hadn't been with me for the last 2 years, I think. But I knew he was a good worker, so he came back to work for me about 3 weeks ago. So he's doing all the sewing, a lot of the assembly work. We're doing our own aiders now. We've always built our own strap, or not always built. We in-housed our own straps, but I had a local canvas shop sew the ratchets up. Well, one, they couldn't really keep up with our demand, and then they were all doing it by hand. So I bought actual strap machines. They do the Box X, and we do all our own straps in house. We're building webbing aiders for our one sticks, and I changed the step design on the sticks to where they'll accept the webbing aiders. So all of our sticks will take the webbing aider now. And I didn't want to do a sewn in, just because, you think I can do a 24-inch step, then you get out there in the cold, damn, I can't make this step. So instead of buying a whole new step with a new aider, like you have to do at most places, you just slip ours off, order a new one, put it on. I think
always above the ball here. Always above it.
Always trying to think, dude. If I could get this stand worked out, we'd have the ultimate, I think. But
you'd have a full mobile setup.
Yeah. I mean, I've got with the little ambush, but it's a straight tree stand. I can use it here in a few places, but not very many.
You have a lot of crooked trees, right?
Oh, all crooked trees. You want to fight the limbs.
That's crazy. Well, why don't you tell everybody kind of where they can find you one last time?
Okay. Out on a Limb Manufacturing website, Out on a Limb, MFG.com. My company phone is my cell phone, 580-541-3794. I've had people call me in the middle of the night. If I hear my phone usually starts going off, you all's time evidently, because 5 o'clock it'll start ringing or buzzing or something.
Crazy. Well, there's not many people out there that's going to give you their personal cell phone right here. Out here for the public, everyone can see it.
It usually tells me I know if it's an Oklahoma number if it's spam or not usually. And the out of state ones, since I do so much East Coast stuff, I get a lot of Pennsylvania spam calls. And sometimes I'll take a chance and answer, and it'll actually be a customer. I figure if it is a customer, they'll leave a message, usually, or text me. I mean, I can work and talk on the phone at the same time. It's pretty easy.
Good deal. Well, everybody, please check out Matt, check out on a Limb, and give them your full support. We are 100% behind their products. They are hands down the difference between success and failure in what we do in the deer woods. So please share your support. We can't push that enough. It's all American. It's in-house. It's the real deal. That's all I can say.
Well, I got you guys on here. I know you guys don't have all our products, but I know you have some. Give me a little bit of your lowdown on what you use of ours.
Go ahead, Trev. Lead on.
All right. So I'm pretty much all out on the limb. I think everything that goes in the trees and out on limb. I run the Shikar Sticks. I run them all with a one-step aider on daisy chains. I run a Podium platform, and I run a Rut Roost. I have a reach camera arm, and I got the Berserker, which is partly out on the limb also. So I'm pretty much full out on the limb.
Cool, appreciate that.
Yeah, on my side, I'm slacking a little bit, but all of my cinematography side is all done on the camera arms. So right now, primarily, I run the reach, and all of the footage, everything we put on YouTube, everything from deer season was all done on the reach.
Yeah, we need to get point probably.
Yeah,
I think a lot better.
I'm with you on that, but we'll get to that. I'm not too concerned.
Do you tree stand or saddle?
90% tree stand or saddle. Sorry.
Okay. Well, the reach is good for that then.
Yeah, it's very nice for the mobile aspect, and when you get it locked in and you learn it right, it is really the penultimate for mobile filming.
Okay. Well, I got you here. You say locked in, right? Which base do you have? The 3-pointed or the new one?
I've got the new one, and it's wonderful.
Okay. I don't know if you know it or not, but I build those to where it'll accept wear. So if you ever get to where your handle's bottoming all the way out, always start on the lower post, but there are shims underneath that plate. And you can pull one shim out at a time, use the thinnest, and then you can always work that handle back if you ever do get anywhere. Haven't had maybe one or two people have any problems with them.
I'll be honest, I've never had a problem. Once you get in there and you get it leveled and locked in, every hunt we've filmed has been rock solid.
Cool.
Other than, Trev shoots a 160 on it.
It's a little excited.
Him trying to move the camera arm afterwards gets a little bit shimmy, but that's going to be.
No, that was my fluid head. That was my fluid head.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Halfway through the hunt.
So, yeah.
That was a nice deer, by the way, Trev.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. You shot monsters this year.
Yeah, he's going, good job, Trev. Good job.
Hang on. I didn't know what the bow hunting league was. Taylor, my welder, signed me up as his partner this year. And we made the showdown because he killed 2 nice ones. I killed 2 nice ones. So inches wise, we made the showdown. And I never really knew what it was till I hung out with them guys all weekend. And I'll be shooting or going to try to shoot 5 this year. I'm going to do some out of state stuff. I'm going to stay close, probably Kansas. Taylor goes up to Nebraska and public land hunts. So I may go with him. Then he's got land in Kansas. My Kansas deal, I got the championship hunt for North American whitetail. So I'll have to be careful on that one, because you only get 1 tag. So I'll have to save it. If I don't score there, then I'll go public land. Then my brother-in-law lives in Texas, and he lives right by some public land on Ray Roberts or something like that, I think. And then kind of been looking at Arkansas is pretty inexpensive, and Missouri, I think. So
you're gonna be
close.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna try to get my name on top of the board.
Oh yeah, that's why you do it.
Where I hunt, and my welder Taylor, he hunts less than a mile from me, from this ranch I'm on. And we were looking through, or I was looking through cell cam pictures the other day, or first season, and he was kind of behind me looking. He said, "Hey, that's my biggest deer I got." I said, "You don't got to worry about me shooting him, bud."
Right.
It wasn't what I was.
Awesome.
I can sit through I wouldn't be able to sit through a 180 because I've never shot one. But now I can shoot through a 160, 170. I can sit through it because I want to get better.
Hell yeah. Well, at this point, really, all you can do is dive in, try the products for yourself because they work. And again, like I said, give Matt some support. He does everything he can and he makes the products all right. They work. And until then, guys, thanks for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive.
Thank you, guys.